everyone. In this video we'll be discussing second part of design of control unit, which is microprogram sequencer for control memory. Right. The basic components of microprogram control unit. Microprogram control unit. What are the basic components? Very important. The basic components are, first one, control memory. Second one is that microprogram sequencer. Now this is what the main component which we are going to discuss in this video. Now what is the purpose? What is the purpose of this microprogram sequencer? Yes, the purpose is that it is to determine what? Determine the address. Very important. The address. Whose address? The address of micro instruction. Address of micro instruction. Right? So this is what the sequencer purpose. Right? So once microprogram sequencer determines the address, now what happens? Immediately micro instruction which is there in that particular address, okay, will be read and executed. Right. Now very important thing is that the address determined by the microprogram sequencer will be loaded into a CAR. Now what is the CAR? The CAR is a register. Now what is the acronym CAR? What is the full form? Control Address Register. Right? Now the CAR register stores the address of the micro instruction. Now we illustrate the internal structure of typical microprogram sequencer. Right. Now let us get into block diagram of this particular microprogram sequencer. In this block diagram, control memory is included to show the interaction between sequencer and the control memory attached to it. Right. Now I am taking a control memory. Okay. Right. Now in this control memory, what are the fields we have got? F1, F2, F3. Now what are the other fields? CD, VR. Now what is the final field? AD, which is of size 7 bits. Okay. Right. Now there are two multiplexers associated with. How many? Two multiplexers. I am taking two multiplexers. Okay. Right. See here. First multiplexer selects an address from one of four sources. Right. Four sources. That's why I am taking 0, 1, 2, 3. Right. Since we have got a four sources, 0, 1, 2, 3. Now this is mux 1. This is first multiplexer. This is mux 2. Second multiplexer. Right. Now the output of mux, okay, is routed to the CAR register. It is routed to the CAR register. Okay. and the output from CAR provides address to what? Control memory, right? Okay, now I have already told you that there are 4 sources from which we are going to get a address, and that will be stored into CAR. Now what are those 4 sources? The very first source is that incrementer. So incrementer, the CAR value will be given to the incrementer. Okay, now this incremental will increment the CAR value and it will give it to what? 0th line of MUX1, and this incremented CAR value will also be given to the SBR, subroutine register. Very important, this is SBR. Okay, right. Now what about second line 1, second source? From where we get? We will be getting from AD bits, from here, right, to the line 1 of MUX1. This is the second source, AD bits. Now what about third source? Okay, third source is at line 2. So third source is coming from SBR register. Okay, and what about final source? Final source is that external source mapping. External, MAP. Okay, these are the 4 sources from which CAR receives address of the next micro instruction. Since there are 4 sources, so how many selection variables are required? 2 selection variables are required. So those are called S0, S1. These S0 and S1 are the selection variables for MUX1, and these variables are used to select one of the source addresses for CAR. Okay, we'll understand this one. For example, when S1 is equal to 1, S0 is equal to 0, now what happens? S1, S0 is equal to 1, 0 means, now what is that? Line 2. Now what is that? Line 2. Line 2 is selected. Okay, line 2 is selected, and when line 2 is selected, which path? There exists a transfer path from SBR to CAR. See here, at line 2 what is there? At line 2, yes, this is one, right? Line 2, what is there? From SBR to, right, CAR. Okay, from SBR to CAR, right? Like this will be source addresses will be selected. Okay, right. Now we'll understand MUX2. See here, for MUX there are 4 lines. For MUX there are 4 lines. First one is 1, always 1. Second one is indirect. Okay, direct or indirect. Third one is sign, and fourth one is 0. Okay, now these are the 4 lines. Okay, these are the 4 lines and one output. These are the 4 input lines and one output line, which is test variable. Now see here, for this particular MUX2, CD bits are used as a selection variables. Now how many bits are there? CD 2 bits. These 2 bits are used to select one of the 4 lines, and based on one of the 4 lines conditions, this test variable will be decided. Now we'll understand this particular mux2. See here, when CD bits are 0 0, okay, now what is that? Always 1. What does it mean? Test is equal to 1. Now if CD bits are 0 1, now what I need to do? I need to check for 15th bit, means last bit, 15th bit or last bit of DR register. 15th bit of DR means I can also write like this. DR of 15. If DR of 15 is equal to 1, then what happens? Test is equal to 1. If 15th bit DR of 15 is equal to 0, then what happens? Test is equal to 0. Right? Now this is what the CD 01. If CD bits are 10, look for again 15th bit of AC. Okay, if AC of 15 is equal to 1, then what happens? Test is equal to 1. Similarly, if AC of 15 is equal to 0, now what happens? Test is equal to 0. Okay, right. If CD bits are 1 1, look for AC register. If AC register is 0, what does it mean? All 16 bits are 0 means then test is equal to 1. If AC is not equal to 0, test is equal to what? 0. Right? So based on these CD bits, now what is happening? We are getting output test, right? So like this we are going to get a test output from mux2. Okay, right. These are the CD bits are the selection lines. Okay. Now I am taking input logic circuit. Input logic circuit. Okay, this input logic circuit, what are the inputs? BR fields. Okay, right. So this is what I1, this is what I0. Okay, now this test variable is also given as input to this input logic. Okay, now this input logic circuit gives output. Now what are the outputs? S0 is one output, S1 is one output, and L is another output. L is another output. Now this L enables the load input in SBR. Okay, load input of SBR, right? Is that clear? Now, very important thing is that this BR field goes as input to the input logic circuit. Okay, now this BR field forms I0 and I1, and this input logic circuit also takes this test variable as input to the input logic circuit, and this input logic circuit will again give output, right? What are those outputs? S0 and S1 and L variable, and this S0 and S1 variables are used to select one of the sources of the addresses. Okay, now what about this L variable? L variable is used as a load input to the SBR register. This input logic circuit is a Boolean function which I am writing now. Now this is what the input logic circuit Boolean function. Now based on this particular Boolean function, this S1, S0 and L variables are determined. With this we have completed block diagram of microprogram sequencer for control memory. In the next video we will be discussing input logic truth table for microprogram sequencer.